welcome back to Figuring It Out, a podcast curated especially for entrepreneurs, leaders, business owners, marketers, and creatives alike. My name is Kevin England, and I am the proud founder and CEO of Vonazon. We're a full-service digital sales and marketing agency that caters to clients worldwide. In each podcast, I take the time to discuss relevant topics affecting businesses today. I pull from my own personal and business experiences, as well as from other stories, other people, to leave you with some helpful advice. We live in a digitally reliant world, and with 2022 just around the corner, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying that, your business, your market, and the technology around you is ever changing. I guess the question is, are you? In today's podcast, we'll be discussing some of the projected sales and marketing trends of 2022, some of the technological advancements that are already generating a ton of buzz, and how you, your business, your company, and even your team can prepare for these upcoming industry game changers. Perhaps at the forefront of the technological advancements is artificial intelligence, or AI, and I've talked about that before. It seems like each and every year we hear a new company's AI endeavor. And many of you already know some companies that have created things like humanoid robots to enhance their customer experience. A great example is back in 2015, a company called SoftBank, a Japanese tech investment company, created a humanoid robot named Pepper. The robot was able to analyze facial expressions and tone of voice to capture emotional cues from people so that it could respond more appropriately. The first batch of the 1,000 Pepper robots sold out in just 60 seconds. And since then, the robots have gained commercial and critical acclaim. Currently, several offices in the UK are using Pepper robots as like receptionists, so they can identify visitors from their facial recognition and provide a more personalized experience. Even chat with prospective clients, send meeting alerts, and even prepare drinks. I mean, get that. Guess I'd want an old-fashioned or something like that. In Canada, Pepper is being used at airports to greet travelers and offer menus to people when they engage with an airport restaurant. And in Japan, the robots are being used at banks, medical facilities, in addition to restaurants. Obviously, it seems like restaurants love this robot. Even though robots have already made these breakthroughs in customer experience and customer service, each year they become more and more advanced. In fact, just recently, Elon Musk announced that Tesla's plan to create a humanoid robot. Maybe this one can be his traveling companion the next time he flies into space. According to CNN, the robot will be built by humans for humans, eliminating the need for repetitive, dangerous, and even boring tasks. The bot will be about 5'8" in height, and according to Elon, we can expect the first prototypes to be released sometime in 2022. It's uncertain if the robot will be produced in multiple quantities for purchase, but one thing's for certain. Upcoming advancements in artificial intelligence are going to bring forth new changes to the sales and marketing world. You may be thinking that humanoid robots are only capable of simple or even mundane jobs. But keep in mind, as they become more and more advanced, they can take on a lot more responsibilities. And according to Forbes, here are just some of the marketing jobs that we can expect from robots and even other types of artificial intelligence capabilities. Did you know that the Los Angeles Times uses AI to report on earthquakes? They rely on algorithms to pull data from things like magnitude, place, and time from the U.S. Geological Survey sites. Here's kind of an interesting one. NPR also uses AI for sports writing and coverage of sports events and games. And so moving forward, you can probably expect more companies to start implementing modern artificial intelligence alternatives for live coverage of events or repetitive copywriting type tasks. As we've seen like with Tesla, usually when a company goes public with their plans to produce a robot, or some type of AI, they seem to be some type of innovation. There seems to be a level of innovation with those types of companies. It's for that reason that going into the future, many companies, especially those centered around technology, will consider replacing some of their in-person sales and marketing representatives with actual robots. Walking into a store and being helped by a robot, or attending a trade show and seeing a robot operating the booth, are all future possibilities, and some of them are already starting to happen today. Again, programmed by humans to respond like a human. I'm sure that many of you have already experienced calling your cable company or your phone provider and being initially greeted by an AI, which then kind of transfers your call to an actual human person if you can necessarily get that far. Artificial intelligence can simplify business call center by handling incoming and internet traffic to keep the phone lines open and running more smoothly. Moving forward, you can expect more companies to use robo-dialers and AI to place pre-recorded phone calls, send out customer satisfaction surveys, and gather more information before directing the call. As you may or may not know, when Vonizon first started, we were known as a trade show marketing company that helped exhibitors to generate more engagement in their in-person events. One of our clients frequently used a robot to greet its guest and would even have these full-on conversations with them about anything the prospective client really wanted to talk about. It responded back just like a human. Well, the fact was, or I guess maybe the cheap trick was, it actually was a human moving and responding through the robot, kind of almost like a remote-controlled car. Although, coming out of this pandemic, robots might be a perfect alternative to entertain audiences at trade shows and even act as sales reps, all on their own without the cheap trick or the puppet show. Aside from AI advancements, digital technology is paving the way for new sales and marketing trends. We are slowly starting to see the emergence of shoppable, in-person, and even virtual experiences. Now, here's a really cool one. Celine Dion recently created a shoppable music video experience where viewers could purchase items that they saw in the music video by simply clicking on them. In fact, Rolling Stone magazine recently published an article about a startup company called Drop TV that wants to turn music videos into basic shopping malls. Now, to me, that sounds a bit overwhelming, but I got an employee who just loves the idea. Artists can showcase whatever merchandise they are trying to promote in their music videos, and viewers can buy them right away, while simultaneously still viewing the video and really never leaving it. Artists receive 100% of the commission of the sale, and Drop TV gets about 8% on the purchase, which is basically their profit. Think about the magnitude of influence that famous people already have and how profitable this venture could be to them. Not to mention, many artists like Kanye West already have their own clothing line, so now their music videos can double up as these virtual representations of their creativity and strategic marketing channels. Aside from shoppable music videos, there are also emerging all these experiences around, let's think like shoppable hotels, shoppable rental housing, shoppable cooking shows. So fancy the lamp or the fixture at the next hotel? Boom, it's yours, just like that. It seems like marketers are trying to think of more and more ways to connect with consumers through engaging content and lifestyle ventures or other types of experiences. These types of subtle marketing efforts will definitely increase in the new year and even in the new decade. But wait, that's not all. Here are 5 other marketing trends that you, your business, and even your team should potentially prepare for. And number 1 is hybrid events. During the pandemic, sales and marketing professionals were forced to adapt when in-person events became almost impossible. They had to figure out ways to transform concerts, business events, and work into a completely virtual experience. And even though transforming these normally in-person events was somewhat challenging or difficult, it showed people that it was actually possible. Coming out of lockdown, more and more companies and people from all age groups have adapted to digital ways of consuming things. So moving forward, in-person events will be integrated with digital aspects to appeal to this returning tech-savvy crowd. Now, number 2 is strategic content alignment. Now, this is really important. Companies who are trying to emerge as leaders in 2022 and beyond will need to align their PR, their thought leadership, and even their search engine efforts. Overlapping visibility, credibility, and authority will give your company and your business the upper hand. Your company's website should be this beacon of industry knowledge. This will give you a solid amount of authority on a variety of different topics. Then, credibility can be achieved through positive PR, such as other people quoting or referencing your content. And ultimately, people will start linking things back to your content, which will give you a level of industry experience and authority. Trust me when I tell you that this is all part of the search engine game that we play literally on a daily basis. All right, so number 3, the transition to mobile-first marketing. In 2021, studies show that there are 6.4 billion smartphones being used on a regular basis every day. This is a study that's done worldwide, and it's increased by 24.5%. And as more and more people continue to consume data from their smartphones instead of focusing only on their computers, companies need to start prioritizing their mobile-first presence. It's not going to do your company much good if you have this beautiful website that looks so great on a computer, but it looks like a disaster on a mobile device. In order to keep up with modern times, your website and all of your online resources need to be consumable on a smart device, since that is most likely and probably how your customers will first be introduced to your brand. So if you haven't already done so, consider doing what we do here at Vonazon. When revamping your company's website, we always conduct a full site audit on mobile and desktop to ensure that the links and the calls to actions are functioning properly. And we also make sure that the layout and the design for each page is compatible and viewable on a mobile screen. Number 4 is nonprofit partnerships. More and more companies are engaging with corporate social responsibility, or CSR. And I've talked about that before. It's a term that refers to the practices and policies undertaken by a corporation to make positive influence on the world, something that we all should aspire to do. But you don't have to be some large corporation to partake in these charitable ventures. Here at Vonazon, we have this group of employees who run our company-wide wellness program, and they're called the Culture Gurus. They aim to create a balanced workplace environment and come up with a variety or various nonprofits that our companies can donate to. And just recently, we partnered with MICOP, I guess it's MICOP, an organization that helps indigenous migrant communities in the state of California with resources that they need to overcome the barriers that they face. Our team was able to collect more than hundreds of back-to-school items for indigenous migrant children in our community, in our county. And really that's only the beginning. And we look forward to partnering with more and more nonprofits into the future. And we're not, the only ones doing this. I mean, after this global pandemic, it made a lot of companies realize in times of fear and uncertainty, the companies that come out on top are the companies that make an effort to help. Number 5. Now, this is a big one on the marketing scale. Alternatives to the third-party cookie. And we'll talk about that a little further. Google recently announced that they're going to postpone their plan to remove third-party cookies in their Chrome application until 2023, a year later than they had initially planned. Note that the cookies are used to track sales and marketing activities of prospective customers. Since studies show that Chrome is probably the most widely used web browser, around 2.65 billion global users each year, this decision will have a significant impact on the ad industry. And even though this won't take place until 2023, other web browsers like Safari and Firefox have already implemented third-party cookie blocking efforts. In fact, some companies are so worried about this shift, they call it the cookie apocalypse. You can prepare for this shift by starting to gather more first-party data, such as the same type of data that you house within your CRM, subscription data, or data from completed surveys and even consumer feedback. Figuring out how to achieve a more personalized consumer targeting without invading a user's privacy is going to allow your team to, be on the more cutting edge and even over your competition. As I'm sure that many people in the sales and marketing world will tell you, trends are constantly changing. And it is our duty as smart business professionals to analyze the trends and to, better yet, even try to predict them. Each year brings forth new innovations and changes. Some will benefit your business. Others might derail your current, or your entire sales and marketing strategy. And during the global pandemic, much of our life kind of went on standstill. But don't be fooled. There was a lot happening behind closed doors. Companies had plenty of time to think and come up with new ideas. So we will likely head into this new era of refreshing innovation and technological advancements. And as I like to say, it's the beginning of the Roaring 20s, and it's the Roaring 20s all over again. As long as you're open to change rather than being oblivious to it, you can accomplish great things in the upcoming decade. So until next time, my name is Kevin England, and keep figuring it out.